I'm going to be straightforward and honest with you all. I just don't see the point in going out on serious dates with older women. Why do men pursue women who are looking for long-term commitments and relationships? I just don't get it. To me, there is no value in that, and unless this individual lost their husband as the result of some accident or illness that was unforeseeable, they are not suitable for a relationship or marriage. Let me explain. An older woman is someone who was once young, who had all the advantages in dating to choose a good partner, and she basically had the world in the palm of her hand in terms of mate selection, particularly if she was gorgeous. She had offers from many men from the age of 18 to her current age, and you're telling me that she could not lock down one man? I want all of you to give some serious consideration to the matter, then come back to me and tell me whether or not that fact alone raises a significant warning flag. The male equivalent of this scenario would be a man who began his life with wealthy parents who provided him with all of the opportunities he required to make himself successful, but by the time he reached the end of his life, he was homeless and a drug addict. Do you understand what I mean now? When I see an older woman who doesn't have a man and is still looking for love, my immediate instincts tell me that she has poor decision-making skills and is not serious about life. I want you guys to keep in mind that women are not stupid, and they realize at a young age that unless they are going to be rich, they need a man or children to take care of them when they are older. So, when I see an older woman who doesn't have a man and is still looking for love, some women will tell you that their children are their retirement plan, while others will say that they need a man who can take care of them, and this is something that every woman is aware of from a very young age. If you observe a woman who, despite being aware of the harsh reality that lies ahead, chooses to squander their prime years rather than finding a partner and starting a family, you can deduce that she does not take her life seriously and that she is not prepared for the challenges that lie ahead. The question that arises next is, what did she do with herself during all of the time that she was by herself? Have any of you guys ever taken the time to sit down and think about what your girl has been up to from the time she was 18 until the time you met her? Because I have it on good authority that she was not at home acquiring new cooking skills and experimenting with new recipes. I have it on good authority that she was not reading any books to her husband about how to improve her role as a wife to her husband. I am aware that while she was acquiring all of the skills that are necessary to maintain her relationship with you, she was not waiting on you to show up. Do you know what she was up to at that moment? She was giving away her wet vice grip to strangers and allowing them to beat on it without receiving anything in return. Some of these women had sugar daddies who paid other people to engage in nefarious and debaucherous behavior toward them. If you knew about this, you could never look at these women in the same way again. In addition, some of these women were engaging in behavior with other women that their sugar daddies would never allow them to do. You're telling me that I'm supposed to take her seriously despite the fact that she did not take her own life seriously when she was younger and engaged in behavior that brought her no long-term value or benefit, and you're telling me that she did not take her own life seriously. It is the most important choice you will face during your time on this planet, so you should give it a lot of careful consideration before making your selection. It is not important what field of work you will go into in the future. It's not the kind of car you want to drive or the design of the first house you want to live in that matters. It will involve determining who you want to bring into your life and drafting a legal contract that favors them but penalizes you in the event that the two of you are unable to remain together. I don't know how you guys don't see that who you choose to be the mother of your kids or the woman representing you will be the most important decision, but you guys just take it as a joke. I don't know how you guys don't see that it will be the most crucial decision. Are you telling me that you're comfortable taking a chance on an old leftover skeezer, like for real? The number of men who have made the mistake of picking a poor partner, which ultimately results in him losing everything he has worked so diligently to build, including his family, is staggering, and you're telling me that you're comfortable doing so. You are going to take a chance on someone who most certainly has a history, who has previously divorced someone, and who has demonstrated that she will end a marriage if she is not happy with it. She is the mother of children from more than one man. Nobody ever took her seriously enough to commit for a lifetime, and she wasted her best years and got nothing out of it, and now, all she has to offer is a used-up dried-out peace sleeve that everybody already tested and added mileage to it. You're telling me that right there is a good deal, aren't you? Who in their right mind goes to a car dealership and overlooks all the partially used and new cars to buy a vehicle that is not safe for driving on the roads? That's how I look at dating older women. I am not implying that the young women living in today's society are superior in any way. Many of them are done by age 22 with the number of dudes running through them and hitting Roski, but at least you'll probably get tight firm skin and looking at varicose veins and stretch marks all day. Let's take a look at the more mature women who have had their marriages end in divorce but insist that they can still be considered good women. Let's dissect and analyze them. Everyone is aware of the statistics that show the majority of women get divorces, which leads to the breakdown and disintegration of families. That is something that is common knowledge at this point, and if you are unaware of the fact that women file for divorce at a higher rate than men do, then I don't know what to tell you about that. If she left her first or previous husband and took his money after divorcing him, then what gives you reason to believe that she wouldn't do the same thing to you? Think about it from a logical standpoint for a moment. She destroyed her former family, fought her husband in court for what she believed she was entitled to, took away their children to get child support, and was extremely cruel to him without showing any remorse at all. Do you believe that after what she went through, she would never intentionally hurt you in that way? She figuratively went into the courtroom and lied in order to get more money like a blood-sucking parasite, and here you are, Mr. Simp, to assure me that she would never do that to me because our love is unlike any other love. Because the evidence that she is not marriage or relationship material is right in front of your face, the red flags are waving in the breeze, and you're telling me that you can't see them or you're choosing not to see them. If you ever utter those goofy-ass words out of your mouth, then I will have no care or sympathy when she bends you over in the courtroom with a strappy and hits you from the back without applying any lubricant. If a woman ever divorces a husband who is not physically and emotionally abusing her, or if she puts her husband or the father of her child on child support, then she cannot be taken seriously to form any kind of legal contract. Because she has already demonstrated that she will use men in order to extort money from them and that she will pull the rug out from under you, why would you agree to do that? If it had been a man who had taken advantage of his business partner for financial gain, you would never trust that man, but when it comes to women, all common sense is thrown out the window. The things that you men let women get away with, you would never permit a man to do in such a manner simply because a woman has a warm and wet hole. You simply cause women to rip you to shreds and destroy your future, and the worst part is that whore was used and abused by multiple other men, but here you come overlooking all red flags, just to push and shove what other men pounded out and let their genetic material into your body. I am at a loss for words because you all are the ones who are making the decision, despite the fact that some of you have already been hurt by it. Any woman who has brought dishonor upon her family is either a model for avoidance or a forbidden territory in my eyes. Sure, you can beat up that pea sleeve, stuff the banana up the tailpipe, and stretch it out as much as you want, but I wouldn't ever commit to someone whose love of money caused them to destroy their family. However, things could always get worse because some men are having sexual relations with the wives of other men in an attempt to steal their partners away from their spouses. Now, I don't know whether those guys are just stupid or if they have any control, but mentally other men over their wives and girlfriends all the time, and the worst part is that either one or both men lose their lives, and the woman gets to go ride another man's digging stick and move on with her life. This happens all the time. You are willing to put your life on the line for some old bimbo who couldn't keep her marriage vows and give her husband what he signed up for in the beginning, are you? Monkey Sims, take it a step further by wanting to take the man's wife away from him and act as though she swore that she would never do to her son what she had done to her husband. That screams delusion like nothing else could, and I don't know what else could. If she cheats on her husband or boyfriend with you, what makes you believe that when you commit over she won't do the same to you? Women who consistently cheat on their partners should not be considered relationship material under any circumstances. I don't care how good that pea sleeve is or how nasty she is in bed. You should automatically disqualify her or put her in the practice category once she has a history of backstabbing her partners, but instead you continue to look for love in all of the wrong places. When we talk about places, where exactly do older women who are single belong in your life? The simple fact of the matter is that she will be disqualified. That there will be no communication or cooperation between the two of you in the future at all. She has been training That is to say, she is simply too bored to bust a nut. That sums it up nicely. See, you guys forget that older women only have a few decent years left, and very soon they'll be looking like a granny. Because of this, there isn't much long-term value, and not only that, but you have money to pay for in vitro fertilization if you decide to ignore all red flags and jump in. If she is not going through menopause, would you be willing to end the marriage even if it means starting over with everything? What if you get her pregnant and she turns out to be a praying mantis? You'll be responsible for making child support payments for well over a decade. Guys, this isn't a game. It's serious. I really wish you could grasp the concept that older women who are single and looking for companionship are not to be taken seriously because they tend to sabotage their lives and then look to men like you to clean up the mess they've made for themselves. They are incapable of loving you, and the only reason they are with you is to use you as a prop or for stability so that they can save up for their retirement. You might as well play that game if you want to, but you should be aware that if you do, you're going to end up in a bad situation. When it comes to dating older women, the question is not if but when. What is the answer, and what is the best choice to make? The safest choice would be to disregard these older women and instead focus on dating younger women, to stop dating altogether and instead pursue your own path, or to adopt a monastic lifestyle. If she is still having her period, the next best thing to do would be to only use these people as practice and not commit to anything with them. Put on a condom and do not put these women at risk of becoming pregnant. If she gets a baby out of you, she is going to put you on child support. This is especially true if she is a straggle or hood rat. You need to realize how valuable your seat is before it's too late. If you bust up in a woman's wall stop in the United States, she can make a significant amount of money for anywhere from 18 to 21 years, depending on where you live. Just give that some thought for a second. Men are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to a woman for the simple reason that a man left his seat inside of her and it grew. The final choice is to pray while you date younger women. Don't knock her up and make sure you don't commit. On any given day of the week, dating younger women will provide you with greater satisfaction at a lower cost than dating older women. It cost me a lot more to use a woman who was in her 40s rather than one who was in her 25th year. When it comes to older women, the money you give them is put toward preserving what little beauty, if any, they still possess, while the money given to younger women is put toward maintaining their bodies and enhancing their natural beauty. Which of these two options do you favor more? Which is better, preserved meat that has been dried out and doesn't taste nearly as good, or fresh meat that hasn't been preserved and tastes delicious? The decision is ultimately up to you, gentlemen, but if I were in your position, I would either adopt a monastic lifestyle or seek sexual satisfaction from younger women. Choose wisely, because making the incorrect decision can result in the loss of everything, as that is what I've been doing up to this point, and I have no plans to change that anytime soon.